What do you do when someone you love wounds your heart? Do you retaliate? Do you sink into bitterness? Do you let pain rewrite your destiny? Many of us have been there, betrayed, rejected, ignored. But let me tell you something. The most powerful way to respond to pain is not with anger, it's with wisdom. A wise woman builds her house, but a foolish one tears it down with her own hands. Proverbs 14:1. Pain will either make you wiser or weaker, stronger or bitter. The choice is yours. And today, I'm going to show you how to confuse the man who hurt you, not with hate, not with revenge, but with a response so powerful, it will leave him speechless. Stay with me, because this will change your life. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not in the world around you. It's in your mind. When a man hurts you, the first thing he expects is your reaction. He expects the tears, the shouting, the anger, the desperate pleading. Because you see, pain has a way of stripping people of their power. Not because they are weak, but because their emotions take control. And the moment your emotions control you, you lose authority over your own life. But let me ask you a question. Why should you give someone who hurt you the power to dictate your emotions? Why should your peace, your joy, your identity be in the hands of another person? Listen to me. Emotional mastery is the weapon of the wise. Think about Jesus. They mocked him, accused him, betrayed him. But what did he do? He remained calm. When Pilate tried to provoke him, he didn't react. He responded with wisdom. Because power is not in noise, power is in control. And when a woman learns to control her emotions, she becomes unstoppable. Now, don't misunderstand me. Feeling pain is not weakness. Crying is not failure. Even Jesus wept. But here's the key. He never allowed his emotions to govern his actions. There is a difference between feeling pain and being ruled by pain. The first is natural. The second is dangerous. A man hurts you and he expects you to break. But when you stand tall, when you refuse to crumble, when you respond with wisdom instead of anger, he is left confused. He doesn't understand it. Because people expect destruction after betrayal, but instead you are rising, you are thriving, you are unshaken. Let me tell you something. When your emotions are stable, your decisions become powerful. Many women destroy their own dignity in moments of pain. They send messages they regret. They fight battles that don't matter. They lower their standards because they're controlled by how they feel instead of who they are. But today, you are rising above that. You are no longer a slave to emotions. You are a master of them. So here's my challenge to you. Before you react, pause. Before you cry in front of him, think. Before you let pain drive your decisions, remember who you are. Because the one who controls their emotions controls their future. And the woman who masters herself masters life. When a man hurts you, the natural instinct is to sink, to withdraw, to believe that your worth has somehow decreased because of his actions. But listen to me. Your value does not change because someone failed to see it. A diamond does not lose its worth because it was mishandled. A queen does not stop being royalty because someone walked away. You were born to rise, not to sink. Pain has a voice, and if you're not careful, it will start speaking lies over your life. It will tell you that you are not enough. It will whisper that you are not worthy of love. It will convince you that you are broken beyond repair. But let me ask you, who told you that? Who told you that one person's rejection defines your destiny? Who told you that their betrayal cancels God's plan for your life? You were never designed to be defined by someone else's actions. When Joseph's brothers betrayed him, they expected him to be destroyed. They thought throwing him in a pit would bury his future. But what they didn't realize is that God had already set up a throne for him in Egypt. The very thing that was meant to break him became the thing that positioned him for greatness. Do you understand what I'm telling you? The pain you are experiencing right now is not your end. It is your transition. A man expects you to crumble when he walks away, but what happens when he looks back and sees you thriving? What happens when he thought he left you in a pit, but instead you are ruling in your own Egypt? That's how you confuse him. You don't fight him, you don't chase him, you don't waste your energy proving your worth. You rise, you elevate, you outgrow the pain, because let me tell you something, the best revenge is not anger. The best revenge is success. The best way to respond to heartbreak is not with words, is with transformation. The same people who broke you will be forced to watch as you build something greater. But you are not rising to prove them wrong. You are rising because that is what you were created to do. So stand tall, wipe your tears, fix your crown. This is not the season to shrink, this is the season to evolve, because pain is either a weight that buries you or a fire that refines you. You choose. One of the greatest tragedies in life is when a person hands over their power to someone who was never meant to control their destiny. Too many people allow pain to dictate their next move, forgetting that they were created with purpose before they ever experienced heartbreak. Listen to me. You are not powerless. You are not a victim. You are not at the mercy of someone else's choices. The moment you recognize this, you shift from desperation to destiny. A man walking away from you is not the end of your story. Rejection is not a curse. It is direction. Sometimes God allows people to exit your life because if they stayed, they would have kept you small. You cannot afford to let someone's absence make you question your worth. Your value was determined before they ever showed up, and it remains intact even after they leave. A woman who knows her purpose does not chase. She does not beg for love. She does not shrink herself to fit into a place she has outgrown. When Ruth's husband died, she could have stayed stuck in the past. She could have said, "My life is over." But instead, she moved forward. She positioned herself for something greater. And because she embraced destiny instead of desperation, she walked into a future she never imagined. When a man sees that you are still standing after he expected you to collapse, it confuses him. When he realizes that his absence did not stop your progress, it humbles him. Because the strongest woman is the one who refuses to let pain steal her future. She understands that heartbreak is temporary, but destiny is eternal. This is the moment where you must ask yourself, am I going to allow someone else to determine my worth? Or will I rise into the life I was born to live? No man holds your future. No rejection cancels your purpose. Your destiny is still intact. But you must decide to shift. You must decide to stand. You must decide to live. Stop looking back. Stop replaying what was lost. Stop mourning over what God has already removed. You are not empty. You are being repositioned. You are not abandoned. You are being prepared. And if you dare to embrace what is ahead, you will look back and realize that what you thought was a loss was actually your greatest gain. Silence is a weapon, but most people don't know how to use it. When a man hurts you, the first thing he expects is your reaction. He expects the shouting, the pleading, the endless messages. He expects an emotional explosion because that's what pain does. It pushes people to act without thinking. But what happens when you give him something he never saw coming? What happens when instead of chaos, he is met with silence? That, my friend, is power. Understand this. Not every battle requires your words. Not every situation demands your energy. Some things are best handled in silence because silence is louder than any argument you could ever have. Silence forces a man to sit with his own thoughts, to wonder, to question, and that kind of confusion is far more powerful than any words spoken in anger. Look at Jesus. When he stood before Pilate, falsely accused, insulted, humiliated, he did not argue. He did not defend himself. He remained silent because purpose does not argue with foolishness. His silence spoke louder than any defense ever could. Some of you need to stop trying to explain your worth to someone who was never wise enough to see it. Stop trying to justify yourself to someone who already made their choice. When you understand who you are, you don't need to prove anything. Your absence says everything that needs to be said. A woman who knows her value doesn't beg to be understood. She doesn't chase after someone who has already walked away. She simply removes her presence. And in doing so, she forces that man to feel the weight of what he lost. Because absence creates clarity. A man may take you for granted while you are there, but the moment you are gone, reality sets in. The moment he no longer has access to you, he realizes the depth of his mistake. That's why silence is powerful, because it forces people to deal with the consequences of their own choices. This is not weakness. This is not passivity. This is wisdom. When you remove your energy from a situation that does not honor you, you reclaim your power. You shift the dynamic. And suddenly the one who hurt you is left with nothing but his own regrets. So let me ask you, will you keep wasting words on someone who has already shown you who they are? Or will you rise in silence, walk away in strength, and let your peace do the talking? Because a wise woman knows. Sometimes the loudest response is saying nothing at all. Forgiveness is not for them. It's for you. Too many people believe that forgiving someone means excusing their actions or letting them back into their life. But let me tell you something. Forgiveness and access are not the same thing. You can release the offense without reopening the door. You can let go of the pain without allowing that person to hurt you again. Some of you are still carrying wounds from years ago. You are still replaying conversations, still holding on to what they said, what they did, how they left. And yet the one who hurt you has moved on. You are still chained to a moment that they have already forgotten. Do you realize what that means? It means they are not your captor anymore. You are. Because unforgiveness is a prison that you build with your own hands. Look at Jesus on the cross. Beaten, mocked, abandoned. If anyone had the right to hold on to anger, it was him. But what did he say? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Not because they deserved it, not because they asked for it, but because forgiveness is a choice, not a feeling. It is an act of power, not weakness. A woman who forgives is a woman who refuses to be controlled by the past. She refuses to allow bitterness to shape her future. She refuses to let one betrayal poison the way she loves, the way she trusts, the way she dreams. She understands that her destiny is too great to be held hostage by resentment. But hear me clearly. Forgiveness does not mean foolishness. Forgiving someone does not mean you invite them back into your life to repeat the same cycle. It does not mean you pretend like nothing happened. No. Forgiveness releases the weight of the pain, but wisdom sets boundaries. There is a reason why some doors must remain closed. There is a reason why some relationships cannot be restored. Because when someone shows you they cannot be trusted with your heart, it is not your job to give them another chance to break it. Let go of the grudge, but guard your peace. Release the pain, but protect your future. You have wasted enough time carrying a weight that was never yours to bear. It's time to be free. It's time to move forward, because you cannot embrace what God has for you if your hands are still holding on to what He told you to release. Forgive, but never forget. You are worth more than repeated pain. The greatest response to pain is transformation. When a man hurts you, he expects to see you broken, bitter, and lost. He expects to see you stuck in the past, replaying the pain over and over again. But when you take that same pain and use it to build a greater version of yourself, you confuse him. Because instead of being destroyed, you have evolved. Instead of being trapped in heartbreak, you have risen into purpose. You are no longer who he left. You are stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. Listen to me carefully. Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. The enemy wants you to believe that your best days are behind you, that because someone left, your future is somehow limited. But let me remind you, no human being has the power to cancel God's plan for your life. No betrayal, no rejection, no heartbreak can stop what has already been written about you. The only thing that can stop you is you. Look at Esther. She was taken from her home, forced into a situation she never asked for. But instead of allowing her pain to define her, she transformed into a queen. She stepped into her purpose. She turned her adversity into an opportunity for destiny. And that's exactly what you must do. Some of you have been crying over what you lost, but have you ever stopped to think about what you are about to gain? Have you ever considered that what hurt you might have been the very thing that was needed to push you into your purpose? What if that betrayal was necessary to free you from something that was never meant to be yours? What if that heartbreak was the catalyst for the greatest version of yourself to emerge? A woman who transforms after pain is a woman who cannot be stopped. She does not let life happen to her, she happens to life. She takes every lesson, every tear, every disappointment, and turns it into wisdom. She builds, she grows, she flourishes. And when the same people who hurt her look again, they don't even recognize her. This is your moment. This is your time. No more sitting in sorrow. No more dwelling on the past. No more shrinking into the pain. It's time to become the woman you were always meant to be. Because pain was never meant to bury you. It was meant to build you. You have a choice to make. You can let pain define you, or you can let it refine you. You can sit in the ashes of what was, or you can rise and build what will be. The power is in your hands, not in his, not in their opinions, not in the past, in you. You are not broken. You are not abandoned. You are not a victim. You are a force. You are a masterpiece in motion. And when you step into the fullness of who you are, there is nothing and no one that can stop you. Not betrayal, not rejection, not heartbreak, nothing. So stand up, step forward, walk in confidence. Because your best days are not behind you, they are ahead of you. Your story is not over. In fact, it is just beginning. And when the world sees you again, they won't see a woman who was hurt. They will see a woman who overcame. Go and live boldly. Go and rise higher. Go and become everything you were created to be. Good luck on your journey. And thank you for listening. May you walk in strength, live in purpose, and never settle for less than what you deserve.